killers. He was born in the year 1405 into a wealthy and powerful French family, eventually inheriting vast land and assets. Gilles de Rais is notoriously known as one of history's earliest serial killers. He was born in the year 1405 into a wealthy and powerful French family, eventually inheriting vast land and assets after the death of his parents. His upbringing was privileged as he received a good education and went through military training. De Rais achieved fame and respect as a soldier, notably serving as a commander alongside Joan of Arc in battles against the English during the 100 Years' War. For his achievements, he was even awarded the title of Marshal of France, one of the highest military honors. After Joan of Arc's execution in 1431, de Rais' life took a dark and destructive turn. He retired from military service and began spending lots of money on different things in an attempt to make him feel more joyful. This eventually led him to becoming in financial ruin, and his behavior only became more erratic and dangerous. During this time, he began engaging in occult practices, allegedly seeking power, wealth, and knowledge through dark rituals. His crimes involved the abduction, torture, and murder of children, primarily young boys from peasant families. Witnesses later testified that de Rais brutally assaulted his victims, where he gained sadistic pleasure from their pain before ultimately killing them. The exact number of his victims is unknown, but estimates suggest he may have murdered anywhere from dozens to hundreds of children. De Rais' crimes went largely unnoticed due to his noble status, but suspicions grew as more children disappeared near his estates. In 1440, his reckless financial dealings led to a dispute with the church, prompting an investigation. After this investigation took place, the remains of multiple children were found, in which the authorities ended up arresting him. He was tried for murder and sodomy, and despite his noble status, he was thankfully found guilty. Gilles de Rais was sentenced to death and executed by hanging and burning on October 26, 1440, ending his reign of terror. H. Holmes was born as Herman Webster Mudgett on May 16, 1861, and he is considered one of America's first known serial killers. Raised in Gilmantown, New Hampshire, Holmes had a troubled childhood, as his father was strict, and Holmes eventually developed a fascination with death early on in his life, as it is said that he would dissect animals. He was intelligent and manipulative, which are traits he kept throughout the rest of his life, and as a young adult, he attended medical school at the University of Michigan, with this being the place where he would gain knowledge that would later aid him in his future criminal activities. After moving to Chicago in the late 1880s, Holmes adopted his new alias and began a career in various schemes. His most infamous venture was the construction of a 3-story building, which became known as the Murder Castle. The building was designed with hidden rooms, secret passageways, soundproof chambers, and a disorienting layout, making it an ideal site for trapping and killing his victims. Holmes lured guests, particularly young women, to the hotel, where he would torture and murder them, often using gas chambers or suffocation. He would then dispose of the bodies by dissecting them and selling their skeletons to medical schools. Holmes's criminal activities extended beyond the murder castle, as he would also commit insurance fraud, and during these schemes, he would murder multiple business partners and acquaintances for financial gain. He was ultimately captured after a failed insurance scheme involving his associate Benjamin Peitzel, who Holmes had unfortunately killed. He was arrested in 1894, and the investigation into him revealed the extent of his murders. He confessed to 27 killings, though the true number could be even higher. Holmes was convicted of murder and sentenced to death, and he was hanged on May 7, 1896 in Philadelphia, bringing an end to the life of one of America's most notorious serial killers. Albert Fish, born Hamilton Howard Fish on May 19, 1870, was one of the most sadistic and infamous serial killers in American history. His early life was very rough, as he was placed in an orphanage at a young age due to his father's death and his mother's inability to care for him. At the orphanage, Fish experienced physical abuse, which he later claimed to have enjoyed, sparking his fascination with pain and violence. His family had a history of mental illness, which might have influenced these thoughts and also his later behavior. Fish ended up moving to New York City as a young adult, where he worked as a house painter, and here, he married and had 6 children, making everyone around him believe he was a normal person. However, that was far from the truth, as he began engaging in very disturbing acts. Fish was known to practice self-harm, inserting needles into his body and inflicting other forms of pain on himself, and he also started abducting, torturing, and murdering children, with cannibalism being a particularly horrific aspect of his actions. One of his most notorious crimes was the murder of 10-year-old Grace Budd in 1928. Fish lured her away from her family, making her believe she was going to attend a party. Years later, he sent a gruesome letter to Grace's mother, describing in detail how he killed and cannibalized her daughter. This letter eventually led to Fish's capture, as the envelope contained a key clue that police traced back to him. Fish confessed to numerous crimes, claiming he had killed several children, though the exact number remains unknown. known. His confessions revealed how disturbing and twisted he really was, where he explained in detail his masochistic urges and also his religious delusions. He was diagnosed with severe psychosis, but was deemed sane enough to stand trial. He was convicted of Grace Blood's murder and sentenced to death, and on January 16, 1936, Albert Fish was executed by electric chair at Sing Sing Prison in New York, ending the life of one of America's most depraved killers. Jack the Ripper is the name given to an unidentified serial killer who terrorized the Whitechapel district of London in the 1880s. The Ripper's crimes were brutal and focused primarily on female sex workers, those of which who lived in impoverished and overcrowded slums of East End London. In the year 1888, between the months August to November, he had killed 5 women, and these killings were extremely violent. Jack the Ripper's signature killing method involved slashing the victim's throats and then performing gruesome abdominal mutilations, often removing organs such as the uterus or kidneys. This level of brutality led to widespread fear and hysteria in London, capturing the attention of both the public and the press. The media frenzy contributed to the killer's notoriety, as the press coined the name Jack the Ripper from a letter which was apparently sent by the murderer to the Central News Agency, though the authenticity of this letter remains disputed. The motivations behind the Ripper's crimes have been widely speculated upon but remain unknown, and theories range from the killer being driven by sexual sadism, deep-seated misogyny, or possibly even a desire for notoriety. Some speculate that the killer had advanced knowledge on human anatomy, as his mutilations were very precise, suggesting that he might have been a surgeon or a butcher. Despite a massive investigation by Scotland Yard involving hundreds of interviews and following numerous leads, Jack the Ripper was never caught. The lack of forensic technology and the chaotic nature of the investigation left many questions unanswered. Numerous suspects have been suggested over the years, but none have been definitively proven to be the Ripper. The case remains unsolved, making Jack the Ripper one of history's most infamous and elusive serial killers. The Zodiac Killer, like Jack the Ripper, is another elusive serial killer, with their identity still not being known to this day. They are known for a series of brutal murders that took place in Northern California during the late 1960s and early 1970s. The killer is officially linked to at least 5 murders, though he claimed to have killed 37 people in taunting letters sent to newspapers. The Zodiac's crimes began in December 1968 with the murder of 2 teenagers near Vallejo, California, and over the next several years, he would strike again, targeting young couples in secluded areas. His methods included shooting and stabbing his victims, sometimes even attacking in broad daylight. The cryptic letters and ciphers he would send to local newspapers led to him gaining notoriety, and in these letters, he would boast about his crimes and mocked law enforcement's inability to catch him. The letters were filled with symbols, threats, and codes, with one famously containing a 408-character cipher that the Zodiac claimed would reveal his identity. Despite numerous attempts to crack his codes, the mystery surrounding him and his identity still continues on. The Zodiac Killer's motivations remain unclear, but he appeared to be driven by a desire for attention, power, and control. His use of media to communicate with the public and law enforcement was highly unusual and suggested that he enjoyed the fear and chaos he instigated. He displayed a calculated, almost theatrical cruelty that made him a figure of terror during his active years. Despite a massive investigation and numerous suspects over the years, he was unfortunately never caught. His last confirmed communication was in 1974, and no new credible leads have emerged since. The Zodiac Killer remains a haunting figure in human history, with theories and investigations surrounding him and his crimes continuing to this day. Andrei Chikatilo, known as the Butcher of Rostov, was born on October 16, 1936, in the Ukrainian SSR. His early life was not easy, as he grew up during the famine in the Soviet Union, which led to tales of cannibalism in his village. His father was captured during World War II, and Chikatilo himself faced bullying due to his shy nature and physical weakness. These early experiences likely influenced his later violent tendencies, and as he got older, he worked various jobs, eventually becoming a teacher. However, his inability to maintain discipline in the classroom and his inappropriate behavior towards students led to his dismissal. He later worked as a factory clerk, and despite his troubled behavior, he married and fathered 2 children, maintaining a facade that he was a normal citizen. His killing spree began in 1978 and lasted until 1990, as he targeted women and children, luring them to secluded areas where he would assault, mutilate, and torture. His victims suffered horrific violence, including stabbing, disembowelment, and partial cannibalism, and Chikatilo derived sexual gratification from these women, which he later attributed to him feeling like he had little power in other aspects of his life. Because of this, he claimed that his crimes were driven by anger and sexual frustration. Despite being arrested multiple times during the investigation, Chikatilo evaded capture due to a lack of evidence and investigative errors. He was finally caught in November 1990 when undercover officers observed him approaching children at the train station. Forensic evidence, including blood and semen samples, linked him to several murders. He eventually ended up confessing to killing 56 people, but was only convicted of 52 murders in 1992. In October later that year, he was sentenced to death, and on February 14, 1994, Chikatilo was executed by a single gunshot to the head. The toy box killer, who was born as David Parker Ray on November 6, 1939, in Belen, New Mexico, had a very troubled childhood. He was raised by his grandfather, who would give him extreme punishments, and he was often exposed to violent pornography by his father, which allegedly influenced his sadistic tendencies. Ray struggled with feelings of inadequacy and developed strange sexual fantasies from an early age. As an adult, Ray worked as a mechanic for the New Mexico Parts Department, gaining a reputation as a skilled handyman. Behind this ordinary facade, he constructed a soundproof trailer, which he called his toy box, equipped with a gynecological chair, surgical tools, whips, chains, and other tools for torture. Ray lured victims into his trailer, often with the help of accomplices, including his girlfriend Cindy Hendy. Once inside, the victims were drugged, restrained, and subjected to horrific torture and sexual assaults, sometimes lasting 15 minutes. Ray would also record his sessions, playing tapes of the victims that detailed the torment that they would endure. His sadistic acts were driven by a desire for control and domination, and he meticulously planned his crimes to avoid detection. He is suspected of murdering multiple victims, though none of the bodies were ever found, making it difficult to determine the full extent of his crimes. He was eventually caught in 1999 when one of his victims, Cynthia Vigil, managed to escape from his trailer and alerted authorities. An investigation took place, uncovering the chilling contents of the trailer, and this led to Ray's arrest. He was convicted of numerous charges, including kidnapping and torture, and was sentenced to 224 years in prison. David Parker Ray died of a heart attack in 2002 while still incarcerated, leaving behind a legacy of horror and unanswered questions about the true number of his victims. John William Gacy, often referred to as the Killer Clown, was responsible for the murders of at least 33 young men and boys. He was born on March 17, 1942, in Chicago, Illinois, and he had a pretty rough childhood. His alcoholic father was abusive, in which he would belittle and physically assault Gacy. Despite these challenges, he sought out acceptance and respectability, joining community organizations and becoming a successful businessman. Gacy was known for his involvement in local politics and his charitable work, often dressing as Pogo the Clown to entertain children at parties and events. This public persona marked his dark, predatory nature, as he would lure his victims, often young men from the Chicago area, by offering them jobs and promising them money. Once they were in his home, he would give them alcohol or drugs, then handcuff and sexually assault them. Many of his victims were strangled or suffocated, and Gacy buried 26 of the bodies in the crawl space beneath his home. His crimes went unnoticed for several years due to how much of a respectable figure he was. However, in December 1978, Gacy's last victim, 15-year-old Robert Peace, went missing after being seen with Gacy. This led to a police investigation, and a search warrant was eventually issued at Gacy's home. The horrifying discovery of human remains in the crawl space led to his arrest, and during his trial in 1980, Gacy confessed to the murders but pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. The jury found him guilty, and he was sentenced to death, with him spending 14 years on death row, where he would paint pictures of clowns, and he was eventually executed by lethal injection on May 10, 1994. Dennis Rader was born on March 9, 1945, in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and he became infamously known as the BTK Killer, which stands for Blind Torture, later in his life. During his childhood, his family life was seemingly ordinary. However, he exhibited disturbing behavior from an early age, including a fascination with bondage and a tendency to kill small animals. These early signs of psychopathy were masked by his otherwise normal life. Rader held jobs as a compliance officer and security alarm installer, and he was also active in his church, even serving as its president at one point. He also had a family, appearing to live a typical suburban lifestyle. Eventually, he started killing people between the years 1974 to 1991, terrorizing Wichita, Kansas, by committing heinous crimes involving binding, torturing, and murdering his victims. Rader's reign of terror lasted over 17 years, during which he had killed 10 people, including men, women, and children. His crimes were especially horrifying due to their premeditated nature and the cruelty with which he carried them out. His motivation stemmed from his sadistic fantasies and need for power and control. He craved attention and would taunt law enforcement with letters and cryptic messages that detailed his crimes. Counts. He loved the fear that he instilled in the community, and also how he was able to stay anonymous for such a long time, feeding his ego. Rader was finally apprehended in 2005 when he resumed sending taunting letters to the police. He made the mistake of sending a floppy disk, which authorities were able to trace back to his church computer. He was arrested, confessed to his crimes, and in 2005 was sentenced to 10 consecutive life terms in prison without the possibility of parole. Rader's case is one of the most notorious in American criminal history, showcasing the terrifying potential of killer hiding in plain sight. Harold Shipman, also known as Dr. Death, was a British general practitioner who is believed to be one of the most prolific serial killers in history. Born on January 14, 1946, in Nottingham, England, Shipman had a seemingly normal upbringing, though his mother's death from cancer when he was 17 profoundly affected him. During her illness, he observed how morphine eased her suffering, which may have influenced his later behavior. As he became an adult, he became a well-respected doctor, practicing in Hyde, Great Manchester. However, between 1975 to 1998, he secretly murdered about 250 patients, predominantly elderly women, by administering lethal doses of heroin. Shipman exploited the trust his patients had in him, even visiting them at home under the guise of providing care, then injecting them with the fatal drug. As a doctor, he was seen as a caretaker, making his murders even more insidious. His victims, who trusted him to safeguard their life, were instead killed in cold blood, and he would also falsify medical records to cover up his actions, and even altered wills to benefit himself in some cases. His motivations remain largely unclear, but some experts speculate that his mother's death and his perceived control over life and death may have played a role in his killings. Others believe he was driven by a god complex, seeking power over his victims' fates. He was eventually caught in 1998 after he forged the will of one of his victims, Kathleen Grundy, leading her daughter to suspect something was up. An investigation followed, uncovering the large amount of murders he had committed, and in the year 2000, he was convicted of 15 counts of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment. He hanged himself in his prison cell in 2004, escaping justice for the full extent of his monstrous crimes. Ted Bundy, born on November 24, 1946, was one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. He had a troubled childhood, growing up under the belief that his grandparents were his parents and his mother was his sister. He later discovered the truth, which may have contributed to his growing sense of anger and confusion. Despite his disturbed inner life, Bundy became a seemingly successful young man, attending college and law school and working on political campaigns. He used this facade of normalcy to build trust with his victims, often faking injuries or pretending to be a figure of authority to get closer to them. He would also use his good looks and intelligence to lure women to their deaths, and between the years 1974 to 1978, it is believed that he had murdered at least 30 young women, though the true number may be even higher. His crimes spanned across several states, including 30 young women, though the true number may be even higher. His crimes spanned across several states, including Washington, Utah, Colorado, and Florida, involving abduction, sexual assault, and even necrophilia. His motivations were deeply rooted in a desire for control and power over his victims, driven by sadistic sexual fantasies. His murders were not just about killing, they involved horrific violence, and he would often return to the bodies of his victims to further desecrate them. Bundy's capture came after several close encounters with law enforcement, and in the year 1975, he was arrested in Utah for a traffic violation, with the police linking him to a series of missing women. After escaping custody twice, Bundy was finally apprehended in Florida in 1978, and he was convicted of multiple murders and sentenced to death. Bundy was executed in the electric chair in Florida on January 24, 1989, and his case remains infamous due to his ability to manipulate those around him, hiding his monstrous nature behind a facade of charm and normality. Pedro Alonso Lopez, known as the Monster of Andes, was one of the most prolific serial
Where's the light arsenal?
Light arsenal here.
Where's the light arsenal?
Round one, beginning ring countdown.
Weapons enhanced.
Maggies and things, let's go!
Good news! We're already in the next ring.
Weapon enhancement complete.
I fell again, I can't get up. I was about to fall and then I can't get up.
Optics here. Sniper. Next location. Have a look, s'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît. Okay.
Evo harvesters are now available.
Got an enhanced weapon? Ready to use it. Already in the next ring? Time for a gelato? I'm kidding. Sorry.
Arm up, cuzzy. Got some goodies for ya.
What's better, like feature or scout?
That way. There's an Evo harvester here.
Yep. Sweet bakes. Care package being delivered.
Supplies coming in. I leveled up. With my new upgrade, I shall go Electron. Main fences.
Attention. First blood.
Life
Someone
arsenal
got first
here.
blood. Okay, respect.
Let's go. That way.
Yep. Sweet bakes.
An upgrade would be air.
Recharging my shields, cover me.
There's a new kill leader.
Oh, they're shooting at me.
This is a new kill leader. Gambas too noisy. Shush now.
I'm recharging my Guarda, enemy track. Opponent right here.
One.
Back that blind.
Whoa, getting shot at.
Lobbing a frag.
Tossing frag.
Taking damage. Drill past Marines.
Perhaps I should
Recharging my
select an
shields, cover me.
upgrade.
Reloaded.
Guns them in, guns them out.
I'm recharging my shield.
Drilling right through yous.
Fighting. Reloading.
Gotta drill some sense into yous.
Perhaps I should select. Let's go there.
Yep. Key.
Right.
Enemy right here.
Drill tearing through. Round 2. Beginning ring
Adversary near me.
Being shot at. When the ball's not get on or get the hell out of her way. Use a sink. Recharging my shields. Replicator being delivered.
Long walk to the next ring.
Eyes to the skies. Replicator incoming. Keep shooting at me.
Without an upgrade, I'm at a I'm sick. I need light ammo.
That
enemy shield is broken. Reloading.
Light ammo here.
The ring is
Move
far.
your there.
Closing in one. I broke an opponent's shield.
I'm being shot at. Gives a sec. Recharging my shields.
Rings noch. Shots on another squad.
Crack that.
Enemy here.
Drilling right through. Keep shooting at me. Tearing it up. Reloading. Gives a sec. Recharging my shields.
was. Let's evac if you have evac.
Gives a sec. Recharging my shields. Crack that X shield. Grenade incoming.
Planting fences. Just topping up my shields.
Andiamo. Get in the ring. Roll outside.
Reloaded.
That way. Come on.
Go here. Captain it.
Without an upgrade, I'm at a disadvantage.
Attention, delivering care package.
Care package on its way. Sweet ass. Got a light arsenal here.
I'm fencing. Weapon
Heavy
enhancement
mag here.
complete.
Level 3. Weapon 3 and half. Nothing
Got an
stopping
enhanced
Salvo's
weapon.
middle finger
Ready
now.
to use it.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade. Let's go here. Allons-y.
Yeah, mate. Gives a sec. Recharging my shields.
I'm recharging.
Countdown.
Stand up, stock here. Level 3.
The champion has been eliminated.
Half the squad's still alive. Let's monarchium the Salvonian way.
Energizing.
Rings near, cuzzies. Got a minute before she closes.
Hey.
Still been there.
Near ring with 45 to close.
Una passeggiata.
Enemy here.
We're near the ring, but only 30 seconds left to get inside.
Scaring through.
Reloading.
No more resistance. Fencing position. Recharging my shield. Setting a fence. Wash downs. Just topping up my shields. I downed him.
You are fighting.
Toss a fence.
Enemy shield is cracked.
Oh, I panicked.
I won and I'm number one. Isn't that a coincidence?
I panicked.
Killers in recorded history. Born in the year 1948 in Colombia, Lopez's childhood was marked by extreme poverty, abuse, and trauma. His mother, a prostitute, allegedly kicked him out of their home at 8 years old after catching him molesting his younger sister. Lopez then lived life on the streets where he was repeatedly sexually abused, and this early trauma likely contributed to his later crimes. As a young adult, he was arrested for car theft and spent several years in prison where he claims he was gang raped. Upon release, Lopez began his killing, and his victims were primarily young girls, typically between 9 to 12 years old, and he would lure them away from busy markets and streets, then rape and strangle them. He claimed to have murdered over 300 girls across Colombia, Peru, and Ecuador throughout the 1970s and early 1980s. Lopez's motives seemed to stem from a deep-seated hatred of women, likely rooted in his childhood experiences, and he reportedly believed he was cleaning up society by killing young girls before they could become prostitutes like his mother. In the year 1980, Lopez was caught attempting to abduct a young girl in Ecuador. He eventually confessed to his crimes and led authorities to the graves of 53 of his victims. He was convicted of murdering 110 girls in Ecuador and sentenced to life in prison. However, he was for some reason released from prison in 1994 after serving only 14 years due to apparent good behavior in Ecuador's maximum sentence laws. He was deported to Colombia, where he was briefly held before being declared sane and released in 1998. Lopez's current whereabouts are unknown, and it is believed that he is still alive today, which has caused significant controversy and fear. The true extent of Lopez's crimes may never be known, but his actions have left a lasting impact on the families of his victims and the communities he terrorized, with his case highlighting the issues in the justice system in these countries. David Berkowitz, infamously known as the Son of Sam, was an American serial killer who terrorized New York City during the mid-1970s. Born on June 1st, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York, Berkowitz was adopted by a middle-class Jewish family. His childhood was marked by feelings of abandonment and anger after learning of his adoption and the death of his adoptive mother. He became withdrawn and socially isolated, and by his teenage years, he exhibited troubling behavioral issues, including pyromania and animal cruelty. Between 1976 and 1977, he launched a killing spree that left 6 people dead and 7 others wounded. He would target young couples sitting in parked cars, primarily using a .44 caliber revolver. He would shoot his victims. Berkowitz's attacks created widespread fear throughout the city, as they appeared random and senseless. He taunted police and the media with cryptic letters, signed the Son of Sam, claiming to be driven by a demonic force that spoke to him through his neighbor's dog. His motivations were rooted in his delusional beliefs, and he claimed to be under the influence of satanic forces. His actions and bizarre letters sparked a media frenzy, and many in the city lived in fear during the height of his killing spree. Despite a massive manhunt, Berkowitz remained elusive. That is until he received a parking ticket near one of the crime scenes, and this led to his arrest in August 1977. He quickly confessed to the shootings, stating that a demon named Sam had commanded him to kill. He was convicted of multiple
I need a backpack. Extended heavy mag here. Level 3. Got an extended sniper mag here. Level 3.
Attention. Evo harvesters are online. Warning. Ring closing.
We're inside the ring. I'm positive.
We don't have an Evo harvester.
Extra supplies here. Firepower is
We don't even have a real console.
backpack here. Level 2.
That would come in handy.
Care package being delivered.
Oh, this
Care
thing
package
is
on high.
fucking...
Merci.
Scanning the area. There are unscopy to be found in this direction. Let's go that way.
Attention. First blood.
That's the first of many lights to go out.
Marking our surroundings. A trail to Unscotty. Let us catch them unaware.
I'm fencing.
Marking our surroundings. There are Unscotty to be found in this direction.
Uh.
We should continue there.
Fence in position. Playing with fences. Let's go
Explore
there.
this way.
All Father, give me sight.
Let's go that way.
Scanning the area.
Might be something good this way.
There's an evil harvester here.
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown.
Say one, we're all inside this ring.
Replicator being delivered.
Got a replicator coming down.
There's an evil harvester here. We are not alone. Look over here. I leveled up. With my new upgrade, I shall go Electron.
Marking our surroundings.
Fence placed.
Knockdown shield here. Level 2. surroundings.
I'm in trouble. Just topping off my shield. Fence deployed. Hold on. Let me help you. Shush now. No more sounds.
We're all inside the room. Good.
I spotted an enemy.
Care package on high.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade.
Marking ourselves.
That way. Come on.
Hostile over there. Hostile spotted.
Scanning the area.
Taking fire.
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
Target spotted. Listen up, I'm taking contact. Break the shield.
I'm fencing. 50% of the squad have been eliminated.
Just giving my shields a recharge.
Fence in position.
I spotted. Taking fire. Got a replicator coming down.
Recharging my shield.
Hey, yo. All right. Contact with hostile.
A few more meters to the ring, and still a minute to go. Just topping off my shield. Grenade coming in.
I'm down.
Bleeding out.
There is another squad. Let's attack.
Whoa, bro. How did they get one there?
Shield battery here.
Murders and sentenced to 6 consecutive life sentences. During his imprisonment, Berkowitz claimed to have found religion, renouncing his earlier beliefs, and now instead referring to himself as the Son of Hope. Despite his supposed transformation, Berkowitz remained in prison, where he continues to serve his life sentences without the possibility of parole. Jeffrey Dahmer, known as the Milwaukee Cannibal, was an American serial killer responsible for the brutal murders of 17 young men between 1978 to 1991. Born on May 21, 1960, in West Allis, Wisconsin, Wisconsin. Dahmer's childhood overall wasn't too bad. He was a shy child who struggled with feelings of isolation and abandonment, particularly after his parents' divorce. He developed early signs of psychopathy, such as having an obsession with dead animals and also dissecting them. Dahmer's murders were particularly shocking due to their sheer brutality, as he would lure in his victims, which were mostly young men, many of whom were
Oi,
African American,
you
back to
lag
his apartment,
बहुत-
where he would drug them, kill them,
Well,
and
I'm
often perform
more-
acts of necrophilia.
you
Dahmer
can get
dismembered his victims'
flat
bodies, sometimes even
like
preserving
this,
parts as
like this,
trophies.
you need
He
to
also
push
engaged in
it
cannibalism
some
and attempted to
hairs,
create zombies
dogs.
by drilling holes in the
Yeah.
head of some victims and
Okay.
injecting them with acid or boiling water in an effort to
Yeah, man, bro. Bro, इतने like predator वाले लोग, predator rank वाले लोग आते हैं गोल्ड में, पता नहीं कहाँ से. How are you, bro? और कोई लाइट आर्सन नहीं है, वो लाइट आर्सन चाहिए. Oh,
I'm ecstatic.
I'm aesthetic. Chat पढ़ने के लिए अलग से कुछ रखना पड़ेगा. Chat पढ़ना.
Introducing your champion.
Hey, not to worry. You'll all be here soon. I'll add you to my kill count.
क्या है मेरे पास?
Respawn beacon over there.
भाई कुछ है ही नहीं मेरे पास.
Light arsenal here.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Next ring's quite far. Relatively speaking, of course.
One minute until the ring closes. Could take us a while to get there.
Feature and nuclear and flatline. Thanks.
45 seconds, and the ring's not close.
चला नगर नगर. एक दरवाजा होना चाहिए था आगे.
Attention. First blood.
Someone took first blood from me.
Examine your map. Found the next location.
चला.
Bow harvesters are online.
Got an Evo harvester here.
We need to go. Ring's moving.
Optics here. Mid-range.
Dibs.
Here you go.
Care package being delivered.
Supplies coming in.
Crafting, give me a damn minute. Escape's not an option.
Optics here. Close range.
No level up would be complete without an
Where
upgrade.
you used to go zone.
Optics here. Sniper. My ultimate's ready.
The perfect upgrade.
Optics here. Mid-range.
We run. Wow, bro.
Looking for for a stand? I need a shotgun bolt.
Setting a fence.
Ultimate's ready when we want to get some spam pots together.
Which upgrades? Ding ding. Look at this moving. Holy. Yeah.
Who'll get on top of us?
Safe deployed.
Embrace the shadows.
Shields recharging. Being shot at. That's a wee singularity between friends.
Shields broken. Fini. Just topping off my shields. A fence that was broken out there. Enemy out here. I took out an enemy. He's leading us.
Reloading. Long way
On
to
your feet,
ring.
darling. Plenty of fight left in you.
Replicator being delivered.
Just topping off my shields.
Replicator incoming. Recharging my shields.
Matchula. Never. Whoa. Kami hanap. Do we switch?
Skin suit over there.
Only half the squads are left.
Bro.
I need energy ammo.
I see a target in the distance.
Pulling the trigger. Reload.
Let's go that way.
The next ring's quite a trek, and we're down to 45 seconds.
That way, come on.
Yes.
Yes.
No escape. Someone's out there. Skip. My ultimate's ready.
I need energy ammo.
Oh.
Rings close.
Like what?
There's an enemy here, dears.
Oh, ये 1v1 भी था. ये 1v1 नहीं था. What?
To control them. Dahmer's motivation stemmed from being psychologically disturbed, where he felt a deep need for control and a desire for dominance over his victims. His crimes escalated over time as he became increasingly detached from any sense of morality or empathy, and despite his horrific actions, he appeared to function relatively normally in society, holding various low-level jobs, although his life was highlighted by alcoholism and loneliness. Dahmer was finally caught in July 1991 when one of his intended victims escaped and flagged down police. When officers entered his apartment, they discovered photographs of dismembered bodies and remains, ultimately leading to his arrest. Dahmer confessed in detail to his crimes, which shocked the entire nation. In 1992, he was convicted of 15 murders and sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms in prison. On November 28, 1994, Dahmer was killed by a fellow inmate while serving his sentence at the Columbia Correctional Institution in Wisconsin. Richard Ramirez, infamously known as the Night Stalker, was an American serial killer, rapist, and burglar who terrorized Southern California during the mid-1980s. Born on February 29, 1960 in El Paso, Texas, Ramirez had a troubled upbringing. He was exposed to violence at a young age, influenced by his cousin, who was a Vietnam War veteran that shared graphic stories of war atrocities. Ramirez also endured physical abuse at home and developed an early interest in Satanism and dark rituals. Between the years 1984 to 1985, he went on a brutal crime spree that left at least 14 people dead.
Introducing your champion.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Next ring is far.
Hey.
1 minute until the ring closes. It'll take a while to get there.
Got extra supplies here. Thanks to thank me.
We've got 25 before the ring closes. A lot of ground to cover.
Barrel stabilizer here. Level 2.
The arrows can't reach the bird, bro. This game is stupid, bro. Bro, my arrows.
Evo harvesters are now
I'm aiming so
available.
fucking high up, bro. It's not even fucking.
I've enhanced the weapon.
Hop-up booster here.
Magnifique. Ring's moving. Come on. I designed it to hurt anyone outside of it. I need light ammo.
Found the light arsenal. Here. Got an enhanced weapon. Ready to use it.
Weapon enhancement complete.
Care package being delivered.
New supplies dropping. Use more stuff.
Backpack
Keep the
here.
flyer.
Level
Straight
2.
shot.
Backpack here. Level 2. That way. Come on. There's an Evo
Does this
harvester here.
enhanced weapon make me look scarier? I bet it does. Ah, dead box. Overgrown.
Just
Attention. First blood.
First kill. On the bright side, it wasn't us. There's an
she's
evil
having
harvester
fun,
here.
bro. He's fighting the dog.
Enemy locations are on your map.
Fuck, someone's in the house, someone's in the house.
Look over
Find my
here.
mark.
Come on, nigga,
Back
go.
tower. Fighting. Reloading.
He's
The
riding a
enemy shield is
car.
broken.
Attention.
Tracker set. I'm ready to get a shot.
Just topping up my shields.
Got one here.
Full team or solo?
Thermite grenade here. Find me again over there. I'll be the one with the other. Let's check out that way. Sure.
Why do you wanna go there? You're sick, man.
Boom! Tracker set. Nothing up my sleeves and whoosha! Extra supplies. It's magic. It's what I was doing.
An
Optics
upgrade
here.
would be
Mid-range.
energizing.
New kill leader. Soon to be me. Hey, back in place.
Okay. Wait. There. Okay.
Send in a decoy. Wait, how do I know I'm not the decoy? I'm going extended light mag here. Level 2.
Round 2. Beginning ring countdown.
Dropping a tracker. Pick it up. Next ring's far.
Replicator being delivered.
Replicator incoming.
Let's move that way.
Fence in
You're so
position.
damn far, bro.
Dropping a tracker. Enemy locations are on your map. Hostile.
Oh shit!
It's raining enemies. One landed
Might be
near
something
me.
good there. Oh, they're shooting at me.
Laying fences. Shield battery here.
Recharging my shield.
1 minute and... Almost ready. Shush now. Fence in position. Throwing thermite.
Ring far and closing in 45. Probably gonna have to run.
This was it.
How about this way? Chucking an arc. Whoa, they're shooting at me. Sending out another. Just relax. I got everything under control.
Defensive position.
Throwing out stun.
Wake up, rings moving. Shield cracked. I'm down.
Bad guy over there.
One. Outside one. Outside one. You need to heal me first, bro.
Oh, you're alright? Tieni duro.
Only half the squads are left.
Perhaps I should select an upgrade.
Back tower. Let's move that way.
Un momento. Gotta heal.
क्या क्या ये खिड़की में मार के गया कौन गवा बच के रहना चाहिए नहीं भाई
Sending out my decoy. 1 sec, healing up.
Back it out. I'm scanning for
That's a
enemies.
max level.
Thank you.
Found the sniper arsenal. Here. This weapon is somehow even more beautiful than before.
This weapon
Hey,
is
squadra. I need a frag grenade.
beautiful. Dangerous.
An upgrade would be
Open supply bin over here.
plain with fences.
Care package over there.
Extended light mag here. Gold tier.
Round 3. Beginning ring countdown.
Fighting.
Gotta pass myself.
Reload.
Attention.
Last one down.
Spotted one.
Ciao, that squad.
They're sending a
Go
replicator down if you need one.
Bamboo. Fool them. Got one here.
Yeah, get shot at. The ring closes in 1 minute, but it's right there. You got bamboozled.
Just gotta patch myself up. There's one right here.
That enemy shield is broken.
I see an opponent.
Getting shot at.
Enemy shield.
Making contact here.
Just topping off my shield. Hold on. Let me help you.
No, I'm down. Man, there goes a boozle.
Run.
You got bamboozled. Move that way. Alright, just relax. I got everything under control.
Attention. Has been eliminated.
Extended snipe. Extended light mag here. Gold tier.
Attention. Doing care package.
Risk. Add 3 viewers.
This team will be landing at launch pad.
Time to get out there and shoot with reckless abandon. I love it here. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I am afraid. I'm really afraid. Just kidding, nothing scares me.
Electrons aren't the biggest part of an atom, but they carry its spark.
This is your champion.
Where is the light arsenal? Where?
You can run, but you can run, but you can't hide.
Round 1. Beginning ring countdown.
Pick it up. Next ring far.
Weapon enhancement complete. One minute. Rings close by.
Even more beautiful than before.
Why am I drunk?
Tracker in place. Enemy locations are on your map.
Ring's not too
Stick
far.
with
I'm
me.
okay with that.
I always find my mark. Wingman here.
Backpack here. Level 2.
We're near the ring, but only 30 seconds left to get inside.
Bro.
Bene, this is perfect.
Midnight. Here, okay. Nice.
Warning.
Rings moving. Come on. Design it to hurt anyone outside of it.
Extended energy mag here. Level 2. Got an Evo harvester here.
We're getting a little far apart from each other.
Opponent right here.
Good news. I've leveled up. I should select an upgrade.
Nothing on my sleeves and whoosh, extra supplies. It's magic. What I was doing.
I bet that care package has some sweet gear for us. Care package over there.
Oh, where is he?
Care package over there.
Where is he?
Recharging my shields. Cover me. Shotgun bolt here. Level 3.
Attention. First blood.
Oh, someone got the party started.
I'm recharging my shields. Optics here. Mid-range.
I think we should move that way.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade.
Standard stock here. Level 1.
Champion eliminated.
Another eliminated champion. Bye-bye now. Playing with benches.
Doesn't make me look superior. I bet it does.
No more resistance. Time for an upgrade.
Target here. Time to say hi. With our guns.
Zipline here.
Broken. I broke an opponent's shield. Let target down. That squad is permanently benched.
Bro.
Healing.
I see somebody.
Send it up. Got one here.
Enemy cracked.
Recharging my shield.
কি পেলালা
এইটো নাকৰ হেৰি মহা